welcome to another video. It is now summer and we are now in the middle of wedding season. I thought it'd be fun to show you how to make a wedding ceremony arrangement. This is the kind of arrangement we do for church at the altar area, or in Northern California here, we do a lot of outdoor weddings, so these are the outdoor ceremony arrangements that we use on columns to create an altar space outdoors. Now, of course, if you're not doing a wedding, this is definitely an arrangement that's translatable for a buffet table, entrance hall table, or wherever you want a tall, large arrangement with a lot of drama. So let's get started. I'm using a antique looking urn here. I just put floral foam in here and taped it securely with bowl tape. Now, when we're doing arrangements like this, where we're going to have a lot in the middle, I tape the bowl tape like 2 parallel strips instead of crossing, so that the middle of the foam is not blocked. Sometimes it's intimidating for home designers to do large arrangements. I'm here to show you how easy it could be done. A large arrangement is not that different from a centerpiece. You're just using taller, larger materials. And what we do is we first set a vertical line, and then we divide the arrangement in thirds. So what I'm using today for vertical line are silk white cherry stems. I really wanted this look, this beautiful white cherry look, but of course it's middle of the summer and most of the wedding season we're not able to get cherry. But these are very high-end silks that look very realistic, so I think they will be beautiful mixed with our fresh roses. So I've got 4 stems of cherry here. 2 stems are sort of in this pale green, 2 stems in the white, and I'm just going to put that in the middle of the arrangement to set our vertical line. If you don't want to use silks, you can definitely use delphinium or larkspur or any kind of tall material in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these stems of Viburnum, 3 stems of Viburnum. This is what I mean by thirds. And divide your arrangement into thirds. 1 here, and 1 here. Okay? You notice I haven't greened in yet. Because we don't have a lot of foam space and we're going to try to do a very large arrangement, I'm going to set my vertical lines first and then we'll green in later. A friend of mine taught me that years ago. When I used to want to always green in very fully, she's the one who says you can green in after. Look at these beautiful Annabelle hydrangeas. They're just glorious in the garden. They're just starting to bloom, so we're going to use some of this. Super long stems, but we're going to cut them down a little bit. So I'm going to go between the viburnum. See, we're doing thirds, right? So 1 here, 1 here, between the viburnum, 1 here. Okay, the viburnum in place, and the hydrangeas. And I have 3 more stems of the hydrangeas here, 6 total of the Annabelles. So I'm going to go back, do 1 below it. Now, this is also the time of year where things are getting kind of out of control in the garden. I was out deadheading and cutting roses the other day, and my polka roses are in full bloom. It's a large climbing rose. It's more like a really large arching bush instead of a climber, and the stems are like 5-6 feet tall and kind of falling over. So I cut huge stems of polka. And I thought this is the perfect thing to use in these tall arrangements I want to show you. Look at this. This is 1 stem of polka. Okay? Once again, we're going to go where the viburnum we placed are. So we're in our thirds, remember? Okay, here's a big stem here. There's 2 stems. Okay, so we have 3 big stems of polka, 6 stems of the Annabelles, 3 stems of the viburnum for your thirds. Does that make sense? So we're almost done, right? It already is taking shape. I also have some of these beautiful white pure perfume roses, which are also on these huge sprigs like this. So we're going to use this also. I'm going to cut it a little shorter, go a little lower on the arrangement. Sometimes when I'm out deadheading or cutting roses, especially at this time of year, we almost have to do a little bit of light pruning because some of the stems have gotten way too long. And this is a good time to also assess to see if you have any black spot or rust and just kind of clean up your roses a little bit. So we added 3 big sprigs of that pretty white pure perfume rose. I'll add a little bit more. Turn around, see where we need more stems. I want to add a little color over here, so I'll add another stem of the polka. So I think we've got most of the flowers already placed in here. You see how easy that was to do a very large arrangement? Now I'm going to go back in and green in. I have here some beautiful variegated Pittosporum. Green in. Just make sure we cover the foam and the tape, and also just so that the arrangement looks a little fuller. You don't have a lot of empty space in between. Some more of this Pittosporum. I have long pieces and short pieces. I almost feel like we don't even need a lot of long pieces. These medium tall pieces are plenty tall. Okay. I'm going to go in and fill in where the cherry blossoms are with some of the taller pieces so that we don't have a lot of empty space there. I'm going to sit back and take a look at this. Looks pretty good. Make sure the cherries are not flopping over too much, and they're just still vertical. And I think we're almost done. Let me see. I bought some of this Alstroemeria to kind of use as filler flower, so I'll just use a little bit of this. I'm going to put some here, kind of between the roses and the cherry blossoms. Just I feel like we need to have a little bit of filler there. The white Alstroe is wonderful because it's very neutral, and in a large arrangement you might not want a lot of small filler flowers, but the Alstroe, the size of it makes it almost like a perfect filler flower. I'm going to add in a little bit of tall greenery so that the flowering branches aren't just sticking out of nowhere. Kind of want to transition the branches with the roses with a little bit of greenery, so it doesn't look just like it's sticking out by itself. And there you have it, a big arrangement, ceremony arrangement that can be used for a wedding or a buffet for your entrance hall. Very easy to do if you're using large materials. We're going to take this outside and show you what it looks like on a column out in the garden, like we were having a garden wedding.